Hi, I'm Mike with Holmes Quality Products. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of the best no annual fee credit cards by category. Now, throughout this video, there's going to be quite a few cards that are mentioned. At the end of each section, I'll put like a screenshot up of a kind of a breakdown of which each one was in that section. But if you guys know any ones that are better for these categories, please leave a comment down below and let me know. The categories will be catch-all, be your one basic card just to catch all the random places, your grocery, your fuel, your dining, your streaming, your online purchases, utilities, rent, travel, and that should cover most things. Now for me, I usually concern myself really about grocery, fuel, and dining because those are my three big spends. But everybody's life is different, so I try to put a few extra categories to help you guys out. All right, I'm gonna try to go through these kind of quick because there's a lot of cards to mention. I made videos on quite a few of these cards, so you can go back and look at my thoughts and opinions on these cards. When it comes to the catch-all category, I only did 2%ers because I didn't want to put it there be a million 1.5% cards or 1%. So if it wasn't 2%, it's not in the catch-all section. Even though I said in my last video, I'm using a 1.5 as my catch-all. So I'm going to go through these kind of quick, but at the end of each section, I'll put the list that I talked about in here. All right, the first section is catch-all. In the catch-all category, you're going to have the Citi Double Cash at 2%, the Wells Fargo Active Cash at 2%, the SoFi credit card at 2%, the Apple Card when you use Apple Pay at 2%. When you don't use Apple Pay, you only get 1%. All right, the PayPal credit card at 2%, the TD Bank Double Up at 2%, and the FNBO Evergreen at 2%. And here's a quick list of all of them. You can pause it, screenshot it, whatever. All right, the next section is grocery. And this one, you're gonna have the Citi Custom Cash at 5%. This card's gonna get mentioned a lot because as long as you use it for one category, you'll get 5%. So if you use this only for grocery, you'll get 5% in it. The Verizon card at 4%, the SaverOne at 3%, the Amex Blue Cash Everyday at 3%, and the Navy Federal More Rewards at 3%. So that covers your grocery category. And here's a list of all those cards. All right, the next section is fuel. And again, you have the Citi Custom Cash at 5%, the Costco card at 4%, the Verizon card at 4%, the Amex Blue Cash Everyday card at 3%, the Navy Federal More Rewards at 3%, the Wells Fargo Autograph at 3%, the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%, and the FNBO Getaway at 3%. And here's a list of those cards. All right, now time for dining. And here again, we have the Citi Custom Cash at 5%. The US Bank Cash Plus is 5% at fast food only. So remember, it's fast food only. You have the US Bank Altitude Go card at 4%, the Capital One Saver at 3%, the Verizon card at 3%, the Navy Federal More Rewards card at 3%, the Bilt MasterCard at 3%, and the Wells Fargo Autograph at 3%. The Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%, the Costco card at 3%, the Chase Freedom Unlimited at 3%, the Chase Freedom Flex at 3%, and the FNBO Getaway at 3%. And here's a list of those cards. Now for streaming. In this category, you have the US Bank Cash Plus at 5%, the Citi Custom Cash at 5%, the Capital One SaverOne at 3%, the Wells Fargo Autograph at 3%, the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%. And here's a list of those cards. Okay, the next one is online shopping. I only have two cards on this one. The first one is the Amex Blue Cash Everyday at 3%, the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%. And here's those two cards. The next category is utilities. I only have one card. It's a US Bank Plus card at 5%. Okay, the next section is cell phone. And here you have the US Bank Cash Plus at 5%, the Wells Fargo Autograph at 3%, and the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%. And here's a list of those cards. All right, the next category is rent. And I only have one card for that category, which is the Bill MasterCard at 1%. Just to add to the Bill MasterCard too, if whoever you're renting through charges fees for using a credit card, Bill will cover those fees and still give you the 1%. And if you have a landlord that only takes a check, Bill will mail them the check and still give you the 1%. All right, the next category is travel. In this category, you have the Wells Fargo Autograph at 3%. You have the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards at 3%. And you have the FNBO Getaway Card at 3%. And here's a list of those cards. And now here's a little bonus category right here at the end. We're about done. Is phone insurance. So these are just two that I know off the top of my head. Is you have the Bilt MasterCard that gives you $800 worth of cell phone insurance if you pay your bill with it, with a $25 deductible. And the Wells Fargo Autograph gives you $600 worth of insurance with a $25 deductible. All right, now I'm going to mention my combo I would personally use if I was doing a cashback setup. All right, for grocery, I would use Verizon card at 4%. For fuel, I would use the Verizon card at 4%. In dining, I would use either the Citi Custom Cash at 5% or the US Bank Go at 4% because the US Bank Go card has no foreign transaction fees, just like the Verizon card has no foreign transaction fees. And my catch-all card would either be the Citi Double Cash at 2% or the SoFi credit card at 2% because the SoFi one has no foreign transaction fees either. So if I was a little concerned about foreign transaction fees for me traveling, I would kind of maybe switch them out. As far as streaming and some of these other things, I don't feel like I put enough expenditure to put them as a priority on my list. I'd probably just use a double 2% card for most of the other stuff. Anyway, I know I went through this kind of quick because there's a lot of cards in the name and it's not a review about each card, just to give you guys some cards you can look up and do a little bit of research. I have videos on a lot of these cards already, but just a quick list. So if you're looking for something for maybe groceries or dining or fuel, here's a quick list you can look through and get an idea of what cards you may want to apply for to cover that category. And I always say look at always get your catch-all first and then look at your top 3 spending areas and go from the highest and work your way down. Usually people's highest is going to be rent or mortgage or a car payment. But I'm talking about like groceries, dining. Like for example, me, I don't spend much in groceries, but I definitely spend money in dining. Spend a decent amount on fuel. So those were more of a priority for me. But maybe you work from home, you don't drive anywhere, you don't use any fuel, but you have a whole lot of streaming services. So see what works for you. And hopefully this gave you some ideas of some places to look, some cards to look at to get some ideas. And remember, make sure you're paying these off every month so you're actually getting that percentage back and you're not paying interest. And like I always say, if you don't have the cash, you don't have the credit. Only spend what you have. I don't want anyone to go in debt and have those type of issues. I want you guys to get free cash back, free points for travel, whatever. Maybe I'm just trying to help you get a little bit back in your pocket. Anyway, this was a long list, a lot of cards. I'm sure I missed a lot of cards too. If you guys can think of anything, leave it in the comments down below. Help other people out. And, teach me a little bit, or maybe I just forgot about it. I haven't looked at it in a while. But leave a comment down below. If you guys liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.